Welcome to another episode of Mexican in the Kitchen. I really like this recipe because the result is quite impressive. It's a really nice dish, it tastes beautiful, and the whole process is quite simple. I'm going to start by getting all my ingredients ready. For that, I'm chopping this onion. I'm just dicing it. It's a medium-sized onion. Next, I'm going to get my garlic ready. I have 3 garlic cloves here. They're quite small. I'm just going to chop them quite nicely. I'm using a knife, but if you have a garlic press, you can also use that one. I have about 200 grams of these champignon mushrooms. All I did was wiping them with a clean cloth. They are like sponges, so we don't want to wash them because they will absorb all that water and it will become a problem for later. So just take a clean cloth, wipe any dirt you might see on them, and they will be perfectly fine. Here I have now 250 grams of spinach. It might look like a lot, but remember, every time you cook spinach it will reduce quite much. What I'm going to do is just chop it. I'm going to go through it with a knife. I'm not really making precise cuts, it's just a matter of making smaller pieces. What we want is that we have smaller pieces so that when you bite into your lasagna, you don't get these long strips of spinach just hanging. It will be way easier to eat and it will look way nicer. My pan is on a 3 out of 6, so it's medium fire. I want to cook everything at low temperature so I can really keep an eye on how things are cooking. I'm going to start with a bit of oil and adding my bacon. I want to cook that bacon for a while so it lets some of that grease out. That will give a lot of flavor. And of course, bacon takes a bit longer to cook than other ingredients, so we want to make sure everything is gonna be cooked nicely. Our bacon is not quite ready yet, but you can tell it already starts getting these brown edges, golden edges. It's getting there, so I'm going to add my onion at this point. I want to be mixing this from time to time, and I'm going to cook my onion until it gets this see-through color. My onion still needs a bit longer, but I can tell already that the color is changing a bit, so this is the perfect spot where I will add my garlic. While you're cooking bacon and onion, it already smells really nice, but you will notice immediately as soon as you add the garlic, that combination is amazing. Your kitchen will be full of this really nice rich smell. It really smells delicious at this point. As you can see, onion has already changed color. It looks really see-through. Bacon has been cooking for way longer. It smells really nice. The texture has changed. At this point, we can start adding the mushrooms. Keep in mind, those are going to cook quite quickly, so you have to continue mixing them from time to time. Keep an eye on the pan, continue mixing, and we should be ready to move on in 3 to 5 minutes. In 3 to 5 minutes, you will notice how the mushrooms have already changed color. They look a bit more dark, and at that point I'm going to add all my spinach. Don't worry if it looks like it's not gonna fit, because remember, spinach will reduce quite quickly. At this point, I'm going to add 2 deciliters of cooking cream. Here in Finland, they sell these cheese flavored, but if you cannot find that, just use regular cream. Now I'm going to mix, and you will notice how everything reduces quite quickly. At this point, I'm seasoning with some salt, and I didn't record it, but I also added black pepper. Now I will just keep it on the fire for maybe 3 to 5 minutes. Just keep mixing everything. You will notice how things start to reduce. It starts smelling quite nice. The cream will start turning a bit green because you will notice the spinach are starting to release some of that color. Our mix is almost ready. And if you were not going to make a lasagna, you can still use this mix and put it on a sandwich. You can serve it with some steak. You can make quesadillas with it. You can make tacos out of it. You can make so many things with this. It's a really nice flavor. It's something that goes really nice with so many things. It's quite easy and quite simple to make. This is what I'm going to use for my lasagna, so I'm going to grease it just with a piece of butter. It might look a bit small, but this lasagna will feed from 3 to 4 people. I'm taking a bit of the mix I used, especially the liquid, and I'm going to cover the bottom just to make sure my lasagna doesn't get stuck in there. After that, I'm going to use a layer of pasta. This is the kind of pasta that you don't need to pre-boil. It comes already ready for putting it into the oven. After that, I will take a layer of my mix and just cover my pasta. I will try not to take a lot of liquid with it. Once the layer is ready, I'm going to take some feta cheese and I'm just going to sprinkle it on top. It is up to you if you want to use crumbs or you just want to use small dice. Once my layer is done, I'm going to sprinkle some mozzarella cheese on top. This will help keep everything together. And after that, I'm just going to make another layer of pasta. Now you have to continue making layer after layer depending on the size of your container. In my case, I made 3 layers and this is the last one. For the last layer, I want to do the exact opposite, so I will try to use a lot of liquid and not so much of my mix. This is because what I want is to keep my pasta moist. I don't want it to get too dry because it's gonna be for a bit longer in the oven. Just as I did with the other layers, I'm also going to add some more feta to this one. Once I'm done, of course I have to do the same as I do with other lasagnas. I'm just going to put a lot of mozzarella cheese. I just want to cover everything so when it goes to the oven it will melt and it will look really nice. It will bring everything together. Our lasagna seems ready to go to the oven, and that's where I'm going to take it. We put our lasagna into our preheated oven to 175 Celsius or 350 Fahrenheit. Of course it might vary depending on your oven, but the lasagna should be ready in between 40 and 50 minutes. This is the end result. It smells really nice, it looks beautiful. I'm going to cut it and serve it with some salad. As a side dish, I made a quite simple salad. It's a mix of lettuce, some olives, some paprika, and it has a tamarind vinaigrette. I usually make that tamarind vinaigrette because it's a great contrast with this lasagna. This recipe reminds me of something that my aunt would make on every single Christmas. It's something that's quite close to home for me, and I hope you like it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Press like, subscribe, share it with your friends, try it at home, activate the bells so you get the notifications, and see you in the next one.